Now streaming live on Facebook. So it says. We're going to check it out. Midwest Elevation. It has been a while. So lovely to see you. Greet you. Let me know you're here. Yep, there we are. Yes, we're going to check it out. Midwest Elevation. Stop. It has been a while. Stop. There we go. All right, let us know if you're here as you are popping on. We are so excited to be returning live with our conversations to raise the collective consciousness. I gave myself a little vacation from the live interviews, needed to rejuvenate, rest up. And it's been a year. We've been doing these conversations for a year now, and I just have learned so much, and so grateful to all the interviewees that we've had on. So many amazing people in the world doing that inner work to see the outer change, and there's more to come. So stay tuned. I might be switching the daytime, but more on that later. So keep your eyes out, um, and maybe I'll make a poll. What time works best for Midwest Elevation? So we'll see. It's all good. I want to introduce you to my guest today. If you're out there, let me know. I'm so excited. Melissa Acuña Dengo is here. She is my new friend and the most amazing human being. I can't wait to talk to her some more. But she is a former school teacher turned inner transformation guide on a mission to revolutionize the education system, how we deal with trauma, and how we see ourselves. A girl after my own heart. She is a mindfulness and meditation teacher, intuitive Reiki master, and NLP and root cause release practitioner. This is deep, deep work, y'all. She helps people who have a desire to impact the world transform their trauma into triumph so they can live out their big vision and step into who they were meant to be. Having released her severe anaphylactic allergies, chronic pain, anxiety, and PTSD, she truly believes that there isn't anything we can't heal. And she wants others to know that they are limitless. What beautiful words. Welcome, Melissa. So glad to have you.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited. It's great space.
I just want to take, that deep breath into,
Mhm.
all those things we just listed, of course, in your bio aren't just things that you do. It's really the work that you embody and want to see happening in the world at large, right? One of the reasons, of course, why I feel so connected to you is that we really do share a vision
Mm.
in all this world, like in the limitlessness. So I'm curious to hear about
Mhm.
your path. How did you get to this point? How did you know that you could even do this? You said all the things you healed in yourself and what you heal with, help your clients heal. Uh, where did it all begin?
Yeah, where to start? Well, so it really started, oh man. I guess I entered the world of personal development and spirituality when I was in my teens.
Mm.
I had already gone through some pretty severe childhood trauma. And I was grappling with that. I had very severe social anxiety. It was crippling. I mean, I really couldn't speak to people, which was this interesting dichotomy because I was also someone who loved, like, I've always loved connection. I've always
Mm.
loved people. I've always, like, I will talk to people on planes, trains, buses, you name it, for hours. Like, it's, and I have such a curiosity for people. And I just had such a low self-worth and self-image that it made it really hard for me to love myself.
Yeah.
So you can imagine how that then translated into my relationships, into just um, how I entered the world, right, as an adult. And I was grappling with the anxiety. I also had these anaphylactic allergies. And
That's
when I say that, like, people don't understand the gravity of that, because someone who hasn't been through that, they don't really know. So, I had to not only carry an EpiPen everywhere I went, but I really could not go to restaurants, couldn't
mm,
go over to people's houses for dinner, and I really couldn't participate in any social event that included food, which is like 99% of them.
yeah,
So
wow.
it was pretty crazy. And that's kind of where I was, in my early 20s. I really was just, I had this identity, right, around my allergies, my anxiety. And what I then later came to learn was also PTSD from a very severe traumatic event that happened when I was 12. So there I was, like, really struggling in the world. And, I'll be really honest, I definitely had a little bit of that victim mentality, because I
Mhm.
saw I saw the world as hard, right? Like, it
Yeah,
was this
yeah.
this challenging thing. And um I had these recurring injuries, like a really severe car accident where I was told that I might not even be able to walk. I mean, it was just crazy. Like, one thing after another, which I now understand, I was manifesting.
Right. Whole
And
different
that,
perspective.
it was a lot of the inner stuff that was manifesting into physical ailments, right?
Mhm.
But at the time, I didn't fully get that, right? And then I fell into, and I'm sorry for all the heaviness that I'm bringing in here for a
Hey,
moment, but
we carry it all.
I had my best friend of 14 years passed away.
Mm.
and and I mean, I can just say it, he actually took his own life. And that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, I just fell apart, and I fell into a pretty deep depression.
Mm.
And from that, like, I am so incredibly grateful for that, because that led to this journey of self-discovery, and really tapping into my intuition and my internal wisdom and resources, and really shifting the way I saw the world and the way I saw myself. And
Mm.
there were so many things that I embraced, right? But it
Right.
started really with curiosity. It started with looking at, okay, like, how can I shift this? Right?
Mm.
Because I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in this deep, dark space. This isn't where I want to stay. And I don't want to live here.
Mhm.
So I'm going to get out step by step, right? And so I started doing a lot of the healing work, started embracing my intuition. It was a really powerful journey. And I ended up having a near death experience where I was actually legally dead for 5 minutes,
Oh my gosh.
which is a story for a whole other day, right? Like, a whole other story. Uh, but that was actually caused by an anaphylactic reaction to garlic.
Oh wow.
So that then led me on this journey of, well, I've done a lot of this other healing work, right? I've come to learn a lot of other practices that are super powerful. And I started to understand that my allergies were also an identity that I had taken on. And so that I could absolutely, and I didn't know how yet,
Right.
but when I opened up to the possibility that I could get rid of them,
Mm.
doors were opened, right? So then paths came, and my intuition led me to the right place at the right time to meet the right people. And it was the most powerful experience of my life. And
That's amazing.
it was crazy. Like, in,
Well, and I want to just point out that
yeah,
you weren't like, oh, I can get rid of these allergies, and so then I'm gonna go out and like eat all the things I'm allergic to, right? It was like
no.
there's this whole process of overcoming that
Mhm.
an identity piece, deep seated belief, generational,
Yep.
trauma, whatever. So I just want to make that clear. You're not
Oh,
saying,
yeah.
oh, it's just in your head, decide you're not
No,
allergic anymore.
no. No, there is a deep healing process, right? There is a lot of and work that needs to happen, right? There's, we need to think we need to get curious and look inside and say, well, what is that? What is that programming? What is the conditioning? What are the beliefs that I'm holding, and the identity, right, that I'm holding inside? And then I'm now going to step into doing the work to reprogram that. And
Mm.
that's exactly what I did. And it was mind-blowing. I mean, something that I had been carrying for over 20 years, right? I actually managed to completely release, but to the point that I now do eat the things that I used to be allergic to. So
That's amazing. That's amazing.
it's pretty wild. And that's why, I've gotten to this point where I'm like, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that, the only limitations that we have are those that we put on ourselves, right? Like
Mm.
that's, and yes, it takes a lot of self-awareness, a lot of discovery, a lot of curiosity to be able to say that, and to look inside and be open to the idea that, you know maybe these limits that I feel are being caused by external circumstances or even physiological things, right? Maybe, just maybe, they can actually be shifted and healed, right?
Yeah, I love that. I love the idea of coming to any situation or experience with this perspective of curiosity and of wonder. It just opens up, I mean, the possibility, right? Like, it doesn't, we have, we get so stuck in the way we're supposed to think and be in the world because of, you know, our cultural expectations, societal expectations, our family's expectations, that it becomes, hard to see what is possible, because we've never really been shown. It's not it's not in mainstream media
Mhm.
that limitlessness exists, and we can approach our situations and things from this place of wonder. So what an invitation. What a beautiful invitation to do so. Well, that's quite a journey from here to there. So now you're in this place, and of course, I actually said this earlier today in another conversation, right? We're never healed, period.
Mm-mm.
It
No.
doesn't just stop.
No.
The world still happens, things still turn, new experiences come up, layers and layers and layers. we,
Mhm.
we truly are like ogres and have layers. Uh,
I love it.
so how do
Yes.
you, with your clients now, right, and how do you show them
Mm.
that there is that possibility, or provide
Yeah.
that space? Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So I combine a lot of really powerful tools, right, to do this really deep discovery, right? So it's really about guiding them and creating that bridge from where they are to where they could be. And one of my gifts is really seeing people's higher purpose, right? Like where they're meant to be and what the potential is. However, I don't believe in, telling them because I think they need to see it for themselves. And
Right.
it's so much more powerful when someone can actually see their own light and really create that bridge for themselves. So really one of the biggest steps is helping them to tap into their own intuition,
Mm.
and also to see, so to shine that flashlight inwards, right? Ask themselves really powerful questions, go inside and actually work with their subconscious mind, because so much of the time we're actually battling it, right? So we're fighting our subconscious, we're fighting our patterns, we're fighting everything. And when we're in that constant state of resistance, we're not going to get anywhere, right? And
Mm.
a lot of the time we're willing ourselves to do things consciously, right? So let's say we set a goal, right? And we set goals with our conscious mind, right? But then what happens is we actually, when it comes time to taking action, it's actually our unconscious mind that is responsible for going after the goal, right? So what
Wow.
happens, we're setting that goal. We think we're going to go from point A to point B, and we're super excited in our conscious mind. We're like, yes, I'm going to get it. And then we start to take action and we veer off and end up over here. And then we're just confused and lost and like, what just happened? And that's because our subconscious came in and said, nope, right? Because we have all the programming, we have the beliefs, we have suppressed emotion that actually holds us back,
Wow.
right? So we call that baggage. So what needs to happen is we need to look inside and uncover the baggage, right? And
Mm.
see, okay, what is it that's actually in my way? What are those blocks, right? And then once you've uncovered what all the blocks are, right, and you can accept them lovingly, because that can be challenging, right? Then we can actually release it, right? And releasing really looks like doing some deep rewiring. We can actually choose to let it go and work with the subconscious to do that, because our subconscious installs this programming to protect us, right? I always say that's kind
Right.
of like a misguided superhero, right? Like
Yeah.
it thinks that it's protecting us, right? It's
Right.
like da da da, but really it's actually holding us back, right? So it's not exactly the greatest superhero that ever lived.
Right.
But when you can actually appreciate that, and this sounds kind of strange, but actually give gratitude, like show up
Yeah.
with gratitude and love for your subconscious and say, I appreciate that, you've put these things in place because you want to protect me. And it's time. It's okay. Like you can let go now, right? It's like this. And once you start doing that and building that connection with your subconscious, you can actually not only let go of the programming that you've been holding on to, but you can actually reprogram
Mm.
so that you can have new positive beliefs and supportive beliefs that will actually move you towards your vision.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. And I love that talk about the gratitude and acceptance for it instead of the fighting. When we're in that resistance, all it's doing is causing more resistance and nothing's
Mhm.
going to clear. And it really is, to be sort of cliche, shining the light,
Yeah.
right? When you shine the light in the things that are into the darkness, there's a chance for it to be revealed and expressed, and then
Mhm.
and thanked, like you said, that gratitude and appreciation for what it's trying to do, however however misaligned or misguided it might be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. um my wheels are turning in like all the ways that you can maneuver through. um and it's funny because we think, oh, I'm going to make this goal and I'm going to do these things, and as long as I just stick to my choices, like, done.
Yep.
And it's kind of funny.
Yeah. And actually, to add to that, like, if someone might be watching this and going, well, okay, but, why would I, like, what's the importance of working with my subconscious, right? Like, why would I do that? And it's actually, I mean, and this was pretty mind blowing to me when I first heard it, but, our subconscious mind is actually responsible for 95% of our thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and behavior, therefore our results, right?
Yeah.
So when we think about that and actually put it into that number,
Hmm.
it's really crazy when we're trying to will ourselves to do things consciously, right? We're pushing and pushing and pushing. We're
Right.
actually meeting 5% effort with 95% resistance. So that's
No
like, have you
wonder.
yeah, exactly, right? That's why things are so hard. Like, have you heard of that? That Greek myth of Sisyphus, like the guy who was doomed to roll the boulder up a hill for the rest of
Yes.
his life. That's what that's like. That
Wow.
conscious pushing is
Hmm.
like the curse of Sisyphus. Like you're constantly pushing this boulder up a hill, and not realizing that you can actually let go of the boulder, right? And like not fight and struggle. Like it doesn't have to be hard, right?
Right. Oh my gosh. I mean, even the belief that life doesn't have to be hard, that things can come easily and, peacefully and, is so new. But to be able to come to that, as you said, with that wonder, like, why not? Right? Why not have it come more easily? And then, how wonderful that you are able to provide, these tools and the resources and the support for people to really tap into that subconscious mind because we don't know how to do it. We can't do it. We really can't do it for ourselves because we just get in our own way.
Mm. Yep. Yeah, and then we'll be there fighting it, right? Fighting and resisting and getting angry and going into the shame spiral and all those fun
Yeah.
things that we
Yeah.
do as human beings.
Right. The shame spiral. Indeed. And
Oh.
that's why community and support and accountability is like so vital, such a vital piece of healing and transformation.
Mm.
We can't really get from point A to point B without those things, regardless of what that goal is. There's just, I've yet to see the lone wolf achieve.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Same. Oh yeah, I wouldn't be where I am today if I hadn't, joined communities and really, like it takes a village. It really does. And you have to be open and willing to receive that
Mm,
support, that love, that, and there's something to be said for that community growth, right? For striving for that inner transformation in a community, like, and if you're all working towards that goal together, it's so much more powerful and so much more exciting. And and when you start to see other people also shifting and growing around you, it really pushes you to, okay, like I'm stepping up, I'm taking the action, and I'm
yeah,
gonna do it.
yeah.
So yeah.
It does. Yeah, everything lifts, right? That collective, we're all doing
Mhm,
that.
mhm.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, and speaking of community, please tell all of us here in Midwest Elevation about your Facebook community. What do you got? What's going on?
Yeah. So I have a group, and just full disclosure, I'm probably gonna change the name soon because it doesn't fully resonate with like my mission and vision anymore. And that happens as we shift, right?
It does,
And
absolutely.
so but for now it's called Breaking Free from the Past
Mm,
by Curiously Connected. So Curiously Connected is my company. So in my Facebook group, I do a lot of free like live trainings. I share a lot of tips and tools and techniques. And on the week of the 26th of July, so from the 26th to the 30th, I'm actually doing a 5-day ever call it like a live training event, and
right.
it's really going to be really really powerful. So it's for people who have a big heart and a big vision, and they want to make a difference in the world, they want to have that impact,
Mhm.
and they're kind of stuck in their own way, right? Like they know that there's a lot of things under the surface that's blocking their success, and they want to learn how to shift out of that. So it's called Attention Heart Centered Visionaries, doing your inner work for outer success.
Mm,
And so
I
it's going to
love that.
be super powerful. I'm going to take you through some really powerful techniques that you can do to uncover what's going on
Mm.
under the surface, and start to take some steps right toward that healing so that you can live that vision.
Oh, I love it. I'm there, definitely. And I know here in Midwest Elevation, we have, so many people in our community have that big vision and that mission. And yeah, to have the space in the community and the training that you can offer. So we'll make sure that we get that link posted down in the comments for anybody who is interested in joining your community in this space. Our time is about up, and I have so many more questions for you. So we'll have to do this again. But I am so
Yes.
excited that you're doing this work, that you're out here in the world, making super impactful experiences for so many, myself included, this morning. Uh,
Oh.
it's just been an absolute joy to talk with you today, Melissa. Thank you so
Uh,
much.
right back at you, Renee. And I feel the exact same way. I mean, you are a blessing to this world. And I'm so grateful that we've crossed paths and we've connected. And yeah, I'm excited to continue walking this path with you.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. So
Yeah.
much good stuff. All right, Midwest Elevation. Let us know what resonated with you in this conversation today. If you're watching the replay, certainly do the old hashtag replay and tag us. Let us know what you think. And we will be back again next week. We are ready. So next week, 4:30 Central, 2:30 Pacific time, we will be back with another conversation to raise the collective consciousness. And I look forward to seeing y'all then. Take care.